Hey, it's Dan Morales. This is Homebuyer Radio, episode number 103. Hey, last week what I talked about like this record number of real estate agents and, just the importance of working with a realtor that knows what they're doing. And so this week I decided to bring back the only other guest I've had, I think, other than I let Brad Stinson come on here. Go figure, right? But the only other guest I've had, the only realtor guest I've had, Rebecca Perkins.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We're doing this bright and early. We couldn't find the bottle of Crown Royal, so Rebecca had to settle for a...
we'll make do.
Yeah,
we'll make do this morning.
You had to settle for a bottle of water. Well, hey, this week what I want to talk about is just kind of what's going on with the real estate market. Now, keep in mind, in different parts of the country, in a different, subsections of different cities, you can have different nuances as far as, what happens with, current market conditions. But Rebecca is kind of the expert here in the greater West Michigan area. And I think, what we're seeing happen here is probably happening in many other parts of the country as far as, the trend in market conditions.
Yeah, there has definitely been a shift in the market, and it was homes flying off the market, just on the market for a couple days. And then buyers are definitely experiencing it because they would write multiple offers, and sellers would experience it and hear from other sellers that you're going to get multiple offers and it's going to go above asking price. And I tell you what, it has definitely shifted to... we're starting to see some price reductions, longer days on the market than 2 days. It's becoming a little bit more realistic. I think that we were kind of spoiled probably the past couple years, to be honest. So I think both buyers and sellers and realtors, lenders, I think that we all have to have a mental mind shift right now with what's happening out there.
Yeah, because that's what's happening in the market is there's definitely a shift. We had this really red hot market, and it's getting more normal. I wouldn't say it's cool because I don't think that's the case.
I think normal is a good word to describe it.
Yeah, because typically, you want a pretty good balance of sellers and buyers, and we have this huge shortage of inventory. What's the inventory looking like? Is it getting more closer to normal, or is it still a little bit out of whack?
I would say that it's probably a little bit more normal. I would not say that we're seeing a surplus or anything like that of inventory on the market right now. Time of year, you don't see as much inventory come on the market. But something I would say that I'm starting to see at open houses and that sort of thing are buyers coming through that just kind of got frustrated with the market over the summer, and they wrote 4, 5, 6 offers and then just gave up. And I feel like they're starting to come out now, and good for them for, I guess, hanging tight, and maybe this is a better opportunity for them now.
I would agree. We did a recent episode talking about buyer fatigue, where buyers were in the market.
Great way to describe it.
And they just got tired of getting beat up, losing on offers, writing multiple offers. I can't win. And I've had clients that have been pre-approved, for over a year, couldn't find anything to buy. And, when I keep checking in with them, it's like, well, I can't find anything. So
right.
The good news is some of those people are coming back out of the woodwork. And for those people who have been on the sidelines, maybe it's a good time for you to jump back in. And do you think pricing wise, things are closer to normal? Is there any segment of the market that is like better than another, let's say for a buyer?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
what are you thinking?
Is there a certain price point that is, I should say slower than another? I guess it really applies even more to a seller too, right? Like, is there a price point where, my house is north of $300,000 and it's, that segment of the market is slower than,
Yeah, I would say probably your 250 and up is definitely slowing down quite a bit. Your 200 and under, I think, is still moving at a pretty good pace. But that upper price range is, just a little bit quieter. A little bit less traffic going through, I would say.
Yep. And keep in mind, like, 250,000 in West Michigan may be like 80,000 in your market, depending
Right.
on where
Yeah,
you're listening.
definitely something to factor in.
Where you're listening in, what part of the country you're listening from. We've been very fortunate. We've picked up a lot of listeners from all over the country. But here in Western Michigan, 250,000 is usually a nicer home. Not typically something a first-time home buyer is going to buy.
Right.
I would think that 200,000 or less price point is probably more consistent with what somebody might buy for a first time.
Yes, I would completely agree. Mm-hmm.
Are most of those people buying first-time buyers? Most of the buyers you're working with now, what are they? Are they first-time buyers? Are they people who are moving up and have a property to sell? Or
I do a decent amount with new construction. And probably those that are buying the next home, the move-up home, or the move-down downsizing type.
For the old people like me.
And something else that I'm seeing bringing up that point is, honestly, over the past couple of years, just with the economy and how great everybody was feeling about the real estate market, is they were willing to take that leap of faith and find a house before they sold, because they knew that it would sell very quickly. So they'd find a house, and some even making it non-contingent. And that's honestly, the past couple of years, the only way that you could get an offer accepted is basically if you're not contingent upon a home sale. So they were willing to take that financial risk. And typically it's turned out, but I am starting to see, like I mentioned, just in working with those move up buyers, or the buyers that are downsizing, obviously are coming from an existing house, and they are trying to, they're being a little bit more conservative, I'm starting to see. So they want the best of both worlds, of course. Yep. Who doesn't, right? They want to make sure they have a place, but they don't quite want to put their home on the market, and then their home ends up taking longer. So it is kind of an adjustment right now in that situation.
And that's probably more reflective of what would be traditionally a normal market, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because what was maybe driving, part of that, ability or that need to have to write an offer non-contingent was the fact that if they didn't do that, they stood to lose, potentially the house that they wanted to buy, as part of that too, right?
Right. So. Yeah, I would definitely agree. Mm-hmm. So it is. You kind of got to pick the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, right.
in deciding what to do and how to move forward.
Yeah. So really, to sum it up, fair to say that we're really looking more at what is kind of more of a traditional market. As somebody who has a lot of connections throughout the country, I think I've seen that from a lot of my other connections throughout the country, that we're really seeing what would be more of a traditional market. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's shifted to a buyer's market. Fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
would say so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's shifted to a buyer's market, but I wouldn't say it was maybe as red of a hot seller's market as what it has been historically, yes. Right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, hey, my name is Dan Morales. My NMLS number is 709729. I'm with North Point Bank. You can find me at danmorales.com. That's DANMORALEZ.com. Phone number is 616-499-1996. Or you can reach me online, right, at dan@danmorales.com. How do people contact you, Rebecca?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on this morning. Rebecca Perkins with At Home Realty. My cell, 616-218-6161. Again, 616-218-6161. Or my email address, Rebecca, and that's REBECCA, which is Rebecca@RebeccaPerkinsHomes.com.
Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.